Super Mayhem. Hello friends, Tim here again with another quick video game video type thing. Today we are blasting back in time to the golden age of the arcade. Those flashing lights, the ringing sounds, and the beaming smiles of the children. Forget being a kid in a candy store, try being a kid in an arcade during the 90s. Instead of focusing on the good stuff, today we will take a look at some of the lesser known and weird arcade machines. Cal from Slapped Ham has jumped on board to help me out with this list too, so hold on to your robotic shaking arms and let's go as we explore 7 of the weirdest arcade machines. Number 7. Exterminator. He wasn't just any pest control man, he was the Exterminator. At least that's what the title screen of this machine claims. Long before video games, kids have been giving grief to poor old bugs and beetles. This obscure arcade machine takes that idea and puts you in the shoes of the Exterminator. Genius, right? Well, it did okay, for a game that had around 250 units produced, and it's solely based around squishing bugs by any means possible. It even had lasers to zap the bugs. Talk about futuristic.
Number 6, Thunderblade. Okay, so this one got onto the list purely because of its extravagant outer case. Whilst there were home console versions on Sega, it was the arcade versions that really caught your eye. Released back in 1987, you could sit in a massive helicopter and jet around blowing stuff up. Truly the golden age of gaming. This thing even weighed an impressive 140 kilos, so good luck to the arcade owner moving that thing. There was also a stand-up version of the machine, but who really wants to pretend they're flying a helicopter while standing up when you could be sitting in this beast? Pew, pew, pew!
Number 5. Arm Champs and Arm Champs 2. You know a game is good when it tries to break kids' arms. Quite literally, unfortunately, in this case. Arm Champs 2 was produced by Jellico in 1992, but still is a fan favourite to this day for anyone that played it. I can't help but ask myself, is arm wrestling with a robot a good idea? Somehow I still find myself saying yes. Yes it is. Maybe it's the taunts from the characters like The Rock or Trixie egging you on though. Although I can't find any proof right now, I'm sure I heard it through the grapevine that this machine broke some kid's arm at some point. Mind you, back in the 90s there was lots of machines that were breaking bones, so maybe Arm Champs just got a bad name. Either way, it's time to roll up your sleeves and get cracking.
Number 4, Sonic Blastman. Speaking of broken bones, the Sonic Blastman arcade was one of the worst. First of all, it didn't feature Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a bit of a troll. So the arcade version had you punching an electronic pad with a glove as hard as you could 3 times in a row. What could go wrong? Well, the CPSC alleges that between 1991 and 1994, Taito, the company that created the game, failed to report about 70 cases in which young players fractured or injured their wrists and arms as a result of hitting the Blastman's punching pad. Ouchie nooners.
Number 3. Time Traveler. If you are looking for one of the weirdest arcade machines, then look no further than the Time Traveler. Not only is this one very strange looking machine with very strange gameplay, but it also prides itself on being the world's first ever holographic video game. Forget concerts by Tupac, jump on the Time Traveler. Released in 1991 by Sega, it was even designed by Dragon Lairs creator Rick Dyer. Despite being a commercial success, with some reports claiming it was making $1 million per week in arcades, the game didn't last long when competing with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Number 2. Computer Space. From the first ever holographic arcade machine, we now move on to the first ever created arcade machine. Dating way back to May 1971, this super sci-fi looking cabinet was created by Atari, and is generally accepted as being the first ever coin-operated arcade machine, predating even Pong by a whole year. Looking like something straight from a Star Trek episode, this machine just had to get a mention on this list.
Number 1, Death Race. Released in 1976, Death Race, or Death Race 2000 as it's sometimes known, was one of the first ever controversial video games. The game is inspired by the 1975 cult film Death Race 2000. Even though there were only around 500 copies ever released, it still managed to make headlines in the media. The premise of the game is simple enough: drive your car over little gremlins and if you squash them, a tombstone appears. Sounds pretty tame by today's standards, right? Well, the conservative media back in '76 didn't approve. The National Safety Council called it gross, and the CBS news program 60 Minutes broadcast an investigation into the psychological impact of video games. Talk about going overboard for a couple of moving stick men and a ghoulish looking arcade cabinet.
And that's it for today's countdown. If you want to see more of this kind of action, make sure you head over to Slaptam and check out some of their zany and fantabulous videos. If you like what you see, why not give them a subscription? They put out some quality content consistently. It's good. Links in description and on screen now. Do it, it's free. Previously on Mario Mayhem. If you could add or mix something to an existing Mario enemy, what would it be? Thanks so much for all your overwhelmingly awesome responses to the last question, guys. It's getting near impossible, but here are a few honourable mentions for everyone to enjoy. And today the Luigi clap goes to the Flame and Mega Man fan for this comment combo. I like the part where they say the things, you know, the funny things. Good on you guys, you can now officially say you have been Luigi clapped. And today we will leave you with the question, what would the strangest arcade machine be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and the best, most creative answer will be featured in one of our next videos. And that's it for today, friends. I hope you enjoyed these weird arcade machines. Thanks so much to Cal from Slaptam for dropping by. Don't forget to subscribe to both of our channels if you haven't already. Share this video with your friends, keep those comments and likes coming, and I'll catch you soon.